Examples video. This time we're looking at dividing algebraic terms. So, if we have a look at our first example, we've got simplify 10ab over 15bc. So when we approach these guys, the first thing you want to do is write it out in expanded form, which means I'm going to write this as 10 times a times b over 15 times b times c. Now, this is really handy when we're doing dividing algebraic terms, and you'll see why in a minute. First thing I want to deal with is I want to deal with these pesky numbers I've got out front here and see if I can cancel them down to being any smaller. So if I look, what number goes into both 10 and 15? 5. So I'm going to divide 10 and 15 by 5. So if I go 10 divided by 5, I get 2, and 15 divided by 5 gives me 3. Okay, so I've simplified them down as far as I can, which is a bonus. Now the next thing I'm going to do is cancel anything that is on the top and on the bottom. So if there's a matching one there, I'm going to cancel it. So see here how I've got 1b on top and then I've got 1b on the bottom. I'm going to cancel them because they match up there. Okay, now what is left is going to be our answer. So what I'm left with at the end, because I can't cancel the a or the c because there's no matching one on either the top or the bottom. So what I end up with is 2a over 3c. And that's simplified. Okay, and we have done what the question has asked us to do. So now if I go on to my next question, I've got 18x squared y divided by 8xz. What I'm going to do first off is write it expanded form. So I'm going to have 18 times x times y all over 8 times x times z. Okay, first up again, I'm going to cancel down those numbers. So what goes into both 18 and 8? Only 2, because they don't share any other common factors. So I'm going to go 18 divided by 2 gives me 9, and 8 divided by 2 gives me 4. Then I'm going to go cancel out anything that's matching up the top and the bottom. So here, because I've got here and x, these two go bye-bye. I cannot cancel this other x out because there's not a matching one down the bottom. So he has to stay. Can't cancel y because there's not a y down the bottom. And I can't cancel this z out because there's not one up the top. So we've done all the cancelling and simplifying we can. So what we get left with is 9xy over 4z. And we can't go any simpler because otherwise we get decimals, and we can't really actually get decimals with variables, which are our x and y, because we don't know what number they are. Now I'm just going to do one more example because this is something you may come across. What I've got is 16x squared yz over 8xz. So first things first, write it in expanded form. So I've got 16 times x times y and then times z all over 8 times x times z. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look and go, okay, what number goes into both 16 and 8? And it's actually 8. So here if I go 16 divided by 8 gives me 2, and 8 divided by 8 gives me 1. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is cancel any matching ones. So here I've got 1x there, got 1x there, so they're cancelled. And then here I've got, there's no more x's, so leave that x. There's no y's, leave him. But I've got a z here and a z here, so they cancel. And what that actually leaves us with is we've got 2xy over 1, which really is just 2xy. So sometimes you're going to get questions that end up with answers like that, and that is perfectly acceptable because we can successfully divide without any decimals. And that is what we're doing for